Have you ever noticed how much a trip to the mall always ends up costing more than you anticipated? You bring a ton of stuff home with you, most of which you don't need. Why are you unable to just get what you like and leave the area without aimlessly perusing several stores and making a haphazard assortment of purchases? What is the market size of luxury goods? A product that is considered non-essential is called a luxury good. In other words, consumers can survive without a premium good. Luxury goods comprise things like high-end designer apparel, handbags and luggage, jewelry, watches, estates, high-end cars, and specific accessories. When the economy is doing well, individuals prefer to loosen their purse strings and spend more on things they don't need but want, which increases demand for luxury products. Despite a high demand for these goods in 2022, research suggests that consumers in the US and Europe reduced their expenditure on non-essential items. It's true nowadays. Going to the mall is one of the best ways for individuals to pass the time. It is a great asset since it provides nearly everything one could need to pass the time. In addition to dining, playing games, and watching movies, you can purchase from a variety of brands all under one roof. But do you know? Malls follow hidden strategies, one of which is intentional disorientation. One of the most common traps that shopping malls set for you is a lack of direction. The layout of shopping centers makes it difficult for customers to navigate without becoming lost. If you ever pay close attention, you will notice that malls notably lack windows. You rarely have access to the outside world. It might start to seem like a completely separate planet inside a mall. Every time you enter a mall, you should also take note of the absence of any way to check the time. There won't be any form of clock in the area at all. Your perception of time may be seriously impacted by this. You may wind up spending far more time than you had anticipated. In this sense, the likelihood that you will spend more money increases with the amount of time you spend. The next strategy they use is using the effect of compromise. Although the buyer is enticed to buy the more costly item, they ultimately choose not to after seeing the equivalent, less-priced alternative. In this manner, the mall tricks you into purchasing its intended goods, making money in the process, while also satisfying the customer by giving them the impression that they got a great deal. You can find this strategy in both physical and online retailers. To avoid falling for it, check reviews, compare prices across many retailers, and hunt for additional coupons before making any purchases. Positioning the best deals in the shopping center to your right. This one is quite difficult. It's a little difficult to believe perhaps, but it works like magic. In general, most people have a strong inclination toward the right path. Ask yourself if you don't believe us. Which way do you often turn first when you enter a mall? Shopping centers take full advantage of this circumstance. The layout of most stores is designed so that as soon as you round a corner, you are drawn in by something appealing and end up staying longer, therefore misleading you into making more purchases. Moving on, tempting flavors and the feeling of practicality. There are also supermarket and bakery outlets in the malls, but these establishments aren't your typical neighborhood grocery store. These offer you fancy things in addition to having fancy looks. These shops, for instance, sell sliced fruits and pre-cut veggies in attractive packaging. Customers are also greatly drawn in by the wonderful smells of the prepared meals and other baked goods. All of this therefore deceives you into purchasing them, since they appear enticing and present themselves as a practical choice. Appealing to shops to draw customers in. When you walk into a mall, keep in mind that the architecture, design and decor are all there to tempt you to remain longer than you had planned. The architecture of the mall was meticulously designed. It's easy to notice that malls don't have a lot of seating available. Are you curious as to why? This is meant to entice you to enter stores, which tend to have cozier interiors than chilly lobby areas. The acoustics and lighting are also not in your favor. It's evident that although boutiques have pleasant lighting and a calming ambience, malls tend to have harsh lighting and a lot more reverberating music and conversation in the passageways. The layout of stores is intended to entice you in. It takes a lot of resolve to pass these eye-catching billboards and beautiful display items without going inside. The majority of us are vulnerable to these strategies because we lack that kind of self-control. As a result, you return with significantly more luggage and a significantly lighter pocketbook than you anticipated. When we discuss about most expensive products, there is another huge question pops up. Does a higher price correspond to a better product? This could be explained by the tendency of individuals to focus too much on a product's advantages while downplaying its drawbacks. Strong branding and marketing could be some of the causes of this. For instance, even if Apple products aren't particularly innovative or advanced technologically, many customers wait all night for new launches of iPhones, iPads, as well as Mac computers. When it comes to smartphones, Samsung gives consumers more options and better value than Apple. Additionally, keep in mind that Xiaomi and Microsoft produce phones that are generally more affordable. Still, Apple seems to surpass sales records every year and enjoys a high level of brand loyalty. Some consumers also conclude that more priced things are of higher quality because they view non-luxury goods as inferior just because they are non-luxury. They might think that you get what you pay for even if the products aren't that much better than their more reasonably priced alternatives, despite the evidence to the contrary. Now, that brings us to the end of this video. So, what do you think? Is it necessary to spend huge sums of cash on expensive products? Isn't it a trap to keep us attracted to spend much of our cash in malls? Comment your thoughts in the comments section below. Let's meet again with another interesting video.